Hey all, it's me, James, and continuing on, today is going to be with the Dapper Dragon test sample number 2. This is the coconut, lime, and verbena, however you pronounce that word, Verbena. And it smells really good. I got warm water sitting on it right now. Again, all I did was press the soap to the bottom of the bowl that I'll be using. I'm going to be using the same bowl, but it will be a face lather. So just the face bowl, or same bowl to load, and then a face lather. It smells good. I would probably want just a touch more of citrus myself. I like the lime notes, but I think it's well balanced the way it smells. Just my preference I would want just a little bit more of the lime. But then again, I like pina coladas, margaritas, tequila. So yeah, I like the lime to come through a little bit more. But it smells great. Like I had mentioned earlier in the first portion of this video, the second razor used will be the Tierras Azar. This is 11/16 straight with a mirror polish finish, and it's just a lovely razor, and I look forward to using it because since I've taken it back through the homes, like I mentioned in another video of mine, it just feels really good. So this will be my second shave with it since I reset the bevel and gone through the progression. So I'm excited. The same brush will be used, which is the Bethlehem olive wood handle with the TGM F2 knot is what it is, but it's this newer generation, and after talking about it a lot with a fellow wet shaver from the Nook, the characteristics of the knot don't behave like what a two-band normally would. Now that being said, it's still got a lot of density to it, but it performs more similar to what we both conclude would be something like, not as good as, but something like Simpson's Best. So the current Simpson's Best Badger, like what's in the P8, the TSN limited edition P8, this has similar characteristics of that. Not as good as the best in there, but like that. From look, touch, and feel. Very similar. Now, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and prepare and get ready to go. Thanks. Alright, I took a shower earlier before the video, not too long ago, so my face is already clean. All I did now was just use a warm soaked cloth and softened up the face a little bit more. So that's good. Alright, so just like before, I'm not going to leave the water that's in here. So I'll let that go out. And it was about 3 good shakes of the brush. Alright. And just a little tiny shake on that, just because I noticed on the third shake on the last video that pretty much got the standing stuff from coming out. And so it took a little bit half just to get the standing water in the brush out so it won't be running all over. And now, not using pressure, just letting the brush go over, and we'll see how this goes. Now, since the other brush ended up using the amount that was in the tub anyway, that's how long I'm going to load. I'm going to load so that everything that's in here is gone. That's what it looks like right now. So the proto lather right now is still pretty airy, bubbles and whatnot. But I do feel the denseness starting to thicken from when it was first in here. So not too far away anyway. So there's the brush. Seemed to take about the same amount of time to load the same amount of soap, so I didn't notice any difference there between this tallow number 2 and the number 1. Now, if there were any water left in here, I would let it go. But the brush seems to have mixed it in pretty well into the load, so that's good. Alright, so the hairs were just hydrated and softened a little bit. I'm just going to wet back up a little bit. Not to have a bunch of sopping dripping, just to be moist. And here we go. I love the smell. Eric, if you're looking for names, since this is kind of a tropical nature type smell, and you got the theme of the dragons going on, perhaps you can use the Mayan snake, can't remember how it's pronounced, but the flying serpent, the Quetzalcoatl, something like that. It's a thought. Just from the evaporation that I can feel from the moisture being on the skin, it feels like that lather's about the same hydration point. Creamy, just like it was yesterday. Can't really discern any more slickness or lack thereof compared to number 1 or the vegan formulation. Feels about the same, which is your soaps have excellent slickness. All right. So now that we're on to the second soap, and I don't feel a difference between your tallow slickness and your vegan slickness as it stands right now. Again, tomorrow or perhaps the next day after that. See how this feels today. I'm thinking I'll be okay to shave again tomorrow as well. Tomorrow evening. So again, it's going to be a 2 pass shave with touch up, so 2.5. From what I recall, though, just from regular use of your Dapper Dragon vegan formulation, slickness feels about the same. The slickest tallow soap that I've had to date has been the tallow versions of soap that Wet Shave Obsession puts out. Alright, so cheek number 1. Nice hydrated lather. Very good. All right. Again, not much residue that wants to stay. Another hair from the brush. Okay. I mean, that felt good as well. Again, just watching the buildup on the edge and just a simple rinse and everything's coming right off, which I like. Alright. So, I don't detect any burning. This has been on my skin for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with my shave, and I'll be right back. Thanks. Hey y'all. So this is getting ready before pass number 2, and I just wanted to touch up and say, yeah, I'm not feeling any burning or anything like that. Something else I noticed is that, to me, with about the same load and everything, just right now, the lather itself felt a little bit creamier this second pass than yesterday's second pass going on. So today I just had a little bit more creamy versus fluffy. So that's feeling really good for this tallow number 2 right now. Again, I'll be back. Okay, so I just finished my last 2.5 pass. Just 2 passes with touch up. And I gotta say that after I finished the second pass, to me, my face feels more supple with the tallow number 2 than it did with the tallow number 1 at the end of the shave. Just a little bit more soft, a little bit more plush. And it's important because I don't normally back-to-back shave with a straight or with any razor. So, yeah, it feels good. I did notice a little bit of tingling, but that could have been just because I shaved so close yesterday to today. But it wasn't anything that was unbearable. My skin isn't like glowing red or anything, so that's always a good sign. Neck feels good. I didn't notice any like razor burn syndrome or anything like that. So all in all, that's really cool. If anything, this might be just a tad slicker than the tallow number 1, and I say that because I noticed during my final rinse that there was just a little bit more slickness that had to be rinsed just a little bit more than what I did yesterday. Yesterday's slickness glide level rinsed off really quick. Today it took a little bit more. Now the skin still feels great, feels soft. I'm touching myself a lot more in ooh yay than I was yesterday. So don't know if that's in my mind or if my skin is just like hey, we love the Dapper Dragon. But no, feels a lot softer today. That's what I'm noticing, or at least a bit softer. Now in the brush, again, straight razor shaves take me a little bit longer. Today's shave, I gotta say, went a little bit quicker, and that could be due to the fact that I am more comfortable with the profile on the Tiers Assard because of the thumb notch and the blade length. It's just much easier to maneuver. It's a fantastic blade, and I gotta say, it's feeling really good after taking it through the stones. I'm so glad I did it, and yeah, Easily one of my favorite straights to shave with. Right now, probably my favorite straight to shave with. At least for me. So let's see what's left. All that was in here is just, as you can tell, just the lather that was sitting in the bottom of the bowl from the brush sitting in there and from loading earlier. I went to use up the sample that was in there because I'm trying to use the same amount of soap. So let's see what's in the brush. Again, 2.5 passes yesterday, 2.5 passes today. The only difference is that lather breakdown not as noticeable today because the shave went a lot quicker today, or seemed to anyway. So it's probably a factor on what you're seeing here, but let's see what we got inside. All right. Seems to be just a little bit more that the brush was holding. Oh, it just smells good. Sorry. Let's see here. Just trying to get a feel for what it feels like. The sensory perception is saying, coming out of the brush, it feels slicker than what Tallow number 1 did coming out of the brush. Density is about the same. Maybe just a tad more heaviness to this. So cushion could be just a little bit more on this. Slickness just a little bit more on this. Post-shave qualities just a little bit more on this, and compared to Tallow number 1. And man, coconut lime smells great. The only negative that could possibly be there is the fact that there was some tingling that was noticeable, nothing very harsh. And again, looking at my skin doesn't look like it's reacting, so that could just be two back-to-back straight razor sessions, since I don't normally shave back-to-back anyway. But that's where we're at. Nice, fluffy, dense. So everything that you want in a Dapper Dragon soap, or that you've seen in my other videos where I've highlighted the cinnamon bun or something else, it's here. So again, very nice. At this point, I don't know if there's anything to offer over the vegan formula, but just from it setting on my skin here, playing with it, which I did a little bit more today just because how it felt. There seemed to be just a little bit more ease with the glide, at least a little bit more. Any event, that's it for this portion. I'll continue on with the vegan formula tomorrow with the same amount and with the Feather Artist Club non-folding. So until then, I'll see you guys later.